Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. So today we will be talking about how prolonged fasting is the opposite of drugs. Or instant gratification is a better word really, but fit better in the title. I'm kind of annoyed with the term drugs because it makes people like separate things that aren't really separate. Like just because drugs is referring to something like a pill, or I mean, I guess it could be a needle, but like a chemical you put into your body to get this effect immediately. There are many things you can get instant gratification from that are effectively the same thing. The only difference is that, it isn't a pill that you put in your mouth. Anyways, I just first, because I literally just got it, I wanted to read out a comment. Someone commented on my snake diet cut for bodybuilding video. He commented, LMAO, pre-roll, multiple mid-roll ads, autistic Norwegian CUNT, F off. And I just thought it was funny. I don't get many comments like this, and unfortunately, because they use, I guess it's because of the language they use, they just disappear. I want to leave them out on the video, but I can literally just see it in my notification. I think it's so interesting, like why someone would feel the need to stop by my little small channel here and comment this. It's like, this guy thinks he is something. He should not think that. I need to curse at this guy and complain about like the ads. I mean, the ads, how dare I not just put out free content? How dare I make like not even $100 from ads on my videos? That if they are so bothering you so much, you could just use ad block, Yeah, how dare I? It's like me and a friend recently watched a video like with some kids songs we used to listen to as kids on YouTube, and there were several dislikes, and I'm just like, okay, you don't like this kids song, but why? What was it so bad that you had to press the dislike button? Oh well, anyways, this will be kind of an improvised video. I might talk a little bit about the channel's future and ask you for some input there. Okay, let's get to the topic at hand. Fasting and drugs. So really, we live in these times when instant gratification is just it's just everywhere. We can wake up, immediately scroll on our phone, get these dopamine kicks from seeing this social media post, maybe see likes we got or like content or whatever. Just instant entertainment like that. Food is always readily available. Like if you're, not extremely poor and living in a Western country, food or like even crap food with these extreme tastes is just available to you, like basically at any time. Porn, you can see very, very extreme graphic images of these sexual acts. On internet, you can see so many things just like that. We have the Netflix. You can just, if you're bored, you can always put up something to watch. We have the actual drugs, of course, available in society. The list just goes on. And so I'm a person who has not felt too great earlier in my life and used all these things to try and block it out. And I think this, even if a person considers themselves depressed or not, this is what people do. They feel this empty space, and instead of going to the root cause, like why do I feel this emptiness inside? Why can't I just sit and be bored for a little while? Or why do I have to eat when I'm not even that hungry? I just want this pleasant taste in my mouth. Why do I need to drink to feel good, or why do I need to smoke weed to feel good, whatever it might be? I think for every people it doesn't manifest as them feeling depressed, but if you took away these things, they might end up feeling depressed. And so fasting, what I think is so great about it, it's like the opposite approach to all these things. Instead of being like, I don't feel good, I'm bored, I'm not satisfied, what can I put into my body? What can I watch? What can I add? What can I add to feel better? It's the opposite approach. Like, okay, I'm not feeling too good. Let's remove everything. Let's remove everything, and maybe I'll feel better with less afterwards. Because that's another thing. It always escalates with these addictions. Like take the porn. Like I don't know how many can relate to starting out just watching regular porn. I don't think there's anything regular about porn, but vanilla porn or whatever, and then all of a sudden you can't watch, you don't get a kick out of this porn. Maybe you start even with, I don't know, naked pictures, and then you had to see actual sex, and then you need to see anal sex, and then you need to see uh, gangbangs or whatever, it happens like this. And if you start out with drugs, like must not happen like this, but of course most people who do heroin, they didn't start with just heroin, they started with something, then it wasn't enough and they tried something else. Then maybe they needed higher doses of that, and all of a sudden they were on heroin, and maybe they could first do it every now and then. All of a sudden they need it multiple times every day to even feel okay. And so fasting is the opposite. Instead of keep needing more and adding more things, you remove things you need so that you need it less. This was my whole thought with doing the obviously a dry fast. It feels like just removing food and water, like it could be very, very detoxing. Of course, you're just depleting your body of everything. And so this was my thought with using it when quitting nicotine, something that I used like quite frequently and had a quite strong addiction to. Instead of just removing that, I remove everything at the same time. So when the food comes back, when the water comes back, I feel so grateful and happy about that. Of course, it didn't completely delete my nicotine addiction, but it made it so much less. Because I took the chance to remove everything. And so you see what I'm saying. I think I put down something more here. I guess another thing you could compare, it's not only fasting. It's like the opposite of drugs and all these good things. Drugs make you feel good. Well, drugs, by the way, with drugs now I'm referring to even scrolling on your phone, just binge watching series, just eating a bunch of junky food, just things that you can just get right away that make you feel good there and then. They make you feel bad afterwards. Drugs, you can get hungover. I mean, the actual impact on your body can damage your brain and your body. Food, I guess the same thing, could damage your brain too, but your body absolutely, and you feel like shit. If you're a heavy, very overweight person, like it feels, the junk food, it tastes nice in your mouth, but then you're probably sick, you've got pains in your body from just walking around or whatever. Watch this with being on the phone all the time and binge watching series. That will just make you less patient and more bored and less disciplined, and you always need something, So maybe, it's nice while it's going on, but it will make you a person that's like unable to be more bored, if you see what I'm saying, to just be happy with not too much going on. And like fasting, along with like exercise, eating a better diet, which like might be boring for you if you're doing a transition from a worse diet, like all these things, it's like suffering or things that, like all these things I want to put in, like training can be fun, if you want, you like doing whatever you do when you want to get better, but it feels tough, doing squats, it's never a high, it doesn't feel good it hurts, and being, eating boring food might feel more like a chore for a while when you do it. And fasting, it can be, sometimes you feel good throughout the whole fast, but it can be some points of suffering that you're super hungry or you have headaches, you're a big time food addict, you get withdrawals, but all these things afterwards is when you feel good instead of getting the free high you get from all these other things I've talked about, the free high, and then you feel bad afterwards. This is something where you feel bad temporarily and then you feel good afterwards. So I want you to start thinking about this. Like feeling good, of course, all of us want to feel good, and I don't think it's anything wrong to every once in a while if you like having a couple of beers with your friends, and of course you can watch TV series, and of course you can be on your phone. Porn you should never watch though, but many of these things, of course, it's not that you can't do them at all, but I want you to, like for downtime, like de-stressing, like if you work hard, like coming home and chilling and watching some series or playing some video games, it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's actually relaxation that you need after doing work or training or whatever. But you should remember, like, it's just the modern society allows for these pleasure pathways in us to be hijacked with it feels like, because the feeling is nice, but it's really there to incentivize something else. And that's why the right way of feeling good, it comes from doing these things like exercising, eating good food, fasting, like doing things that aren't like necessarily fun and pleasurable all the time while you do them, but that's what you get from it. And I personally, I just think that as humans, we can't, even when we are not aware of this, like thinking about this like this, we can't fool ourselves. All of us know that if you feel good from taking drugs, lying around being lazy, watching TV series and jacking off to porn, you know, like we all know that this is not something to be proud of. We're not actually deserving to feel this good, and you know, no one gets happy from that. It will always leave a void inside you. You don't feel happy about yourself from that. But when you're feeling good and you can tell that this is from me putting in the work to feel good, then you actually feel good from that too. Like it feeds into itself. So I think I'm ending this video here. It was just a little random thought I had. I actually threw in an extra 70-hour fast this weekend, and I just thought about it during that. It wasn't one of these fasts where I was feeling great and being so inspired during and stuff, but like some things that stressed me out just gave you that perspective. Well, that's the other thing, of course. I can't go into it now. But yeah, like afterwards, it felt good, you know, and I feel more content with just not feeding into the pleasure hole all the time, going through this kind of boring fast. So anyways, ending it here. I hope it was decent. So yeah, I was going to say something about the channel. Like I'm looking a bit, because I think these educational, informational videos, like the subscribers I already have, of course you guys are into this, but like to reach newer audience, you have to have some kind of marketing plan, like, you know, a little clickbaity titles, you know, using maybe people that are famous or like trending in your titles and stuff. But I'm also looking to widen my content a bit to like talk about these things, but in connection to something that's maybe more entertaining or something. So I'm looking to, for instance, make reaction videos. Like, what would you think about that? Me watching something and reacting to it as I go along. Would you think that's interesting? Please tell me in the comments, and please tell me what you would like to see me reacting to. Like, I can see myself doing it to a wide, like completely fun things, but also things that are more related to this channel, of course. So please leave me some input on that. Please like the video if you liked it, and please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, self-improvement, all that kind of cool stuff. And I'll see you later, guys. Peace. And there is the stop button.